hip-hop culture, I decided to investigate on Australian hip-hop. And I'm here at the best place, Curry radio station, interviewing Stan Bravo and Mirrah. So why not come along in and explore hip-hop culture? Come along in. So what does hip-hop mean to you?
Hip-hop is everything to me. Without hip-hop, I wouldn't be here. And when I say that, I mean, when I grew up in California, Venice Beach, I was 4 years old, and when the first time I heard hip-hop, it was breakdancing on Venice Beach, watching B-boys doing amazing moves. But then breakdancing is a part of the culture of hip-hop, which is an expression in dance form. So instead of having fights and everything as all the gang-related vibe that was going on in the States, instead of violently, physically having fights, you would battle in a dance form. So that's when I first met hip-hop, and it's my life. That's all I can say. Hip-hop is my life. Also in the hood, you have beautiful people, you have a culture of individuals because they had maybe hard times job-wise and financially low, but they work hard, they love family, there's a beauty in it too. So I think hip-hop, you can relate with it in a good way, but you know, as a journalist, you make, like I said before, you see bad things, and you know, you're gonna hear the bad stuff about it.
They do. People feel what they don't understand, right? It's a common human trait. You know, like I say, if I give you a can without a label on it and I tell you, here, eat whatever is in the can, your first initial reaction would be one of, you know, is this guy gonna kill me? You know what I mean? Because you don't understand what's going on. But once you open your can and you see there's beans or there's spaghetti, then depending how hungry you are, you may engage. So you go from lack of knowledge to knowledge. You understand? Whenever people don't have knowledge on something, they fear it. You know. So of course, like they're gonna stereotype it. The same people that stereotype are the same people that don't know nothing about it.
So, what effect has hip hop culture had on you personally?
I couldn't imagine my life without listening to hip hop music. I'm sure it'd make me a different person. But no, it means so much to me because think about it. It's the only only art of music that has its own style of dressing. You can see someone across the road, oh, that guy listens to hip hop or whatever, or it's even got its own art. You've got the graffiti and the tags all over the place, which is beautiful, and it's got its own dance. Look at what other country music doesn't have its own art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Punk music doesn't have its own art. I'm not saying I don't like punk music. I like punk music, but it's it's a beautiful thing.
So what influences you guys to do hip-hop music?
Money. Pretty much it.
Every day I'm hustling.
This is why I call me Cashflow.
Nah, and a good beat influences me to rap. If you give me a shit beat, you're gonna get shit lyrics from me. A fresh beat makes me wanna go hard.
So what is jerking?
What are they to explain that?
It's like lately I reckon it's a new dance app, and like it's made up basically of footwork, and you add your own stuff to it. Like a lot of people just add stuff like backflips and just basic moves. The basic move is called the reject. If you go on YouTube and type in jerking, there's a lot of crews out there. There's a lot of videos, like millions of videos, and basically crews become famous just making jerking videos and stuff like that. That's what we do. It's going big in Australia, just like in America now.
Do you also think the style with, you know, the whole banding of putting up the pants and the jeans, because the guys would have their jeans low and show their...
The funny thing about the history of that, it actually comes from jail. A lot of the time, the reason being is because back in the day, people that will go to jail, they take belts so they'll strangle themselves and everything like that. But when they get out, they don't have anything. Sometimes they give it back, but majority of the time, everything is around, is low. So when they come out of jail, that's their comfort zone, and that's what they do, and it's become a style.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that goes so way back
Yeah.
that it just shows how many people of ethnicity have been in jail that it's become now a style, and we call it fashion.
Give us a take on Australian hip hop culture.
Oh, I couldn't start on that. I think it's still very, very young. It hasn't really evolved much yet, but I think it's light years away from what some people are doing in other countries. Yeah, there's some good acts out there, but I'm not running it down. I just think it's still behind, mainly because Australia kind of hasn't accepted a lot of other nationalities that are here now, I think. Yeah, because it's still kind of really Australian.
Do you think that Australian hip hop culture is embraced by the government?
Definitely not.
Okay.
If it was, we'd have a bigger culture in Australia. I think it's good that it's underground, but at the same time, I think it needs to be. At the same time, I think that hip hop in Australia definitely needs to be pushed more. It needs to be supported. You know, there needs to be more hip hop events. Luckily now, 10 years later, I was here when I was a kid, and there was less hip hop people from overseas. But now I think Australia needs more Australian supportive acts. Even people that are maybe from the States, like Stan and I, we're from the States, or JD and the Killer Queens. Yeah, we don't look Australian, but we still are Australian. Now we need to be supportive acts, and other people are out there before an American act. Yeah. Or we need to be a main act as well, and still have the same amount of people that will pay for tickets to come see us. I think that needs to be pushed as well. I mean, we as hip hoppers need to be pushed on the radio, and not all this poppy flavor.
Yeah, so that's why we have the worldwide radio, so to support the Australian act. What is Australian hip hop culture to you?
That's a tricky one. Australian hip hop culture. See, I find I don't like. It's the artist in me does not like labels and does not like to be trapped in boxes. When you say Australian hip hop culture, you're putting something in a certain category. Hip hop music is hip hop music. Like, say, for example, this rapper by the name of Big Pun, right? Passed away. First Latin rapper to go platinum back in the 90s. When asked how did he feel about representing for the Latinos and doing Latin hip hop and things of that nature, he said, and I'm quoting, that he has an uncle that is a doctor, and this uncle does not do Latin medicine. He does not practice Latin medicine. He practices medicine. Like, do you understand? You know, like what I'm talking about. So effectively, hip hop is hip hop music. That's it. Like, there is no. I don't believe in tags or in categories. I think that when you kind of box yourself in, then you're not free to move how you want to move.
So what would be your advice to give to young people on becoming a DJ and being in the hip hop scene?
I'd just say get some DJ DMC videotapes or ITF videotapes and just check them out. Maybe the old ones, the from like 90s to before the drum and bass scene came in, because now it's heavily influenced by drum and bass, which is, man, no, that's not even hip hop. You don't hear hard drums, all that kind of stuff.
What would be your best advice as far as the youth and if they want to be in the hip hop scene?
Know who you are, and don't try to be something that you're not. You can never make an original out of a copy, you know? So be who you are. Master who you are first, you know? Master your craft too, you know, like whatever it is. If you're a DJ, master, you know, your timing, your music, your love for music, the ear, you know. If you're an MC, read, you know, actually, and go back in there and look at the people that did it before you. See what worked for them, what didn't work for them, you know, and ways that you can advance it. You know, if you're a beat boy and a beat girl, you know what I'm saying, work on your moves. It's just, really, it's having a love for it. If if you genuinely love doing what you're doing, it will always come across.